The man who accidentally married his father-in-law. Just when Harry was fantasizing about a sweet wedding night with his beautiful bride, a face straight out of his nightmares suddenly appeared. So shocking that he nearly fainted on the spot. By all logic, the one he had married should have been his fiancée, Anna. Yet when the ceremony ended and the bride entered his house, the person who walked through the door was her father. Harry couldn't comprehend what had gone wrong. Where exactly did this mix-up start? As it turned out, during the wedding ceremony itself, when he and Anna were reciting their vows, thunder rumbled and lightning flashed across the sky. In that brief moment of blinding light, the beautiful bride vanished, and standing in her place was his terrifying father-in-law. Before either of them could react, the officiant cheerfully declared, "Under the witness of the divine, I now pronounce you husband and wife." Both men stood frozen in place, and then, in perfect unison, lunged at each other. To make things worse, their friends didn't try to stop them. Instead, they cheered and recorded the entire memorable moment on their phones. As a perfectly straight man, Harry simply couldn't accept what had just happened. In a panic, he grabbed the nearest flower vase and slammed it over his father-in-law's head, just so he wouldn't have to see that horrifying face again. Truth be told, the two had never gotten along. Now, being bound by such a ridiculous fate, how could they possibly live together for the rest of their lives? Of course, the father-in-law couldn't just walk around forever with a vase over his head. Once they both calmed down, they agreed on one thing. They had to find Anna and get an explanation. So, they split up to search. The father-in-law ran through the garden, accidentally crashed into a trellis, and sneezed loudly. And then, a gentle, feminine voice echoed in the dark. "Where am I? Why is it so dark here?" Harry instantly recognized that voice. "Anna." He rushed over. "Anna, where have you been? Your father and I have been looking everywhere for you." She pulled the vase off her head, tears welling up in her eyes. "I was in the middle of the ceremony, and suddenly everyone disappeared. Where's my father?" Harry didn't care about the father-in-law anymore. At that moment, all he wanted was to hold the woman he loved. "It doesn't matter. You're safe, that's all that counts." But just as he reached out to embrace her, Anna transformed back into her father. Harry's instincts kicked in. He shoved the man away in pure horror. After the chaos settled, the two realized something. They were the same person. Whenever Anna appeared, her father vanished. Whenever her father returned, Anna disappeared. To uncover the truth, they reluctantly decided to live together. From that day on, Harry's honeymoon officially entered its chaotic era. Day 1. When he woke up the next morning, Harry expected to see Anna's sweet face beside him. Instead, the moment he blinked, her soft features twisted into the grim, furious face of her father. Harry barely had time to mutter, "Anna," before his blood ran cold. Sure enough, the father-in-law roared, "Why is my daughter in your bed? What have you done to her?" Harry almost cried. How was this his fault? They were legally married. Was he supposed to sleep alone on his wedding night? But any attempt at logic was useless. The father-in-law threw a punch, and a full-on storm of fists and fury erupted. When he finally vanished, Anna reappeared, leaving Harry bruised, but alive. Day 2. The couple planned to go on a date to relax. But just as Anna finished dressing up, Harry reached out to take her hand. And instantly, her father appeared again. Another fight broke out. Day 3. They were watching soccer together on the couch. When Anna jumped up to celebrate a goal, Harry happily hugged her, only for her to turn into her father mid-embrace. The old man glared. "You fed my daughter junk food full of preservatives? And now you're keeping her up past midnight? Trying to kill her, are you?" Harry sat frozen in despair. After several days of observation, he finally drew one conclusion. Look, but don't touch. Because the moment he touched Anna, she vanished. One day, curious and desperate, he asked, "Sir, when you're about to, transform, do you feel anything strange?" The father-in-law snorted, refusing to answer. Harry tried to appease him with a cup of water. "Come on, don't be mad. Have some water. Let's talk calmly. The old man sneered. I don't drink that garbage. I only drink hand-ground coffee. So Harry ground coffee beans by hand, served it politely, and tried again. Now, can you tell me? The father-in-law frowned, thinking hard. There's nothing special about it, except that every time I'm about to appear, I feel a wave of deep resentment. Harry's eyes widened. Wait, resentment toward me, right? The man's anger flared instantly. If my daughter hadn't married you, would any of this have happened? It's all your fault. As his temper exploded, Harry panicked and tried to change the topic. But in doing so, he accidentally spilled cocoa powder everywhere. The air filled with dust, making the old man sneeze violently. And in that instant, Anna reappeared. She blinked in confusion. Were you talking to me just now? Harry gaped. When did you change back? I don't know. It just happened suddenly. Their honeymoon had been delayed countless times, but after several days of living together, one fact was certain. They truly shared the same body. When one existed, the other disappeared. So, every moment Anna was with him became precious, even fleeting ones. Yet, the deeper their love grew, the thinner the line between them became. One night, when their passion almost crossed the point of no return, Harry forced himself to stop, choosing reason over desire. Anna slammed her fist against the wall in frustration. The wedding was already a disaster. At least let the honeymoon be real. Her words struck something inside him. Harry grabbed her hand, and instantly her father appeared again. Their honeymoon now officially included the father-in-law. From then on, Harry became a full-time servant, obeying the old man's endless commands while anxiously waiting for the next time Anna would return. He never knew when she would appear or vanish. But as long as she came back, even once more, he vowed to cherish it, as if it were the last miracle of his life. The father-in-law despised anyone mentioning private matters in his presence. And yet, at this very moment, all Harry wanted was to do exactly what the old man forbade. He understood Anna's signal perfectly. Soon after, he came home carrying bags full of snacks, fried food, and soda, everything her father hated most. But no matter how long he searched the house, Anna was nowhere to be found. Just then, a shout rang out from outside. Someone fell into the sea! Without a second thought, Harry dove straight into the water. Moments later, Anna returned from buying coconuts, only to realize her husband was gone. Panicking, she asked a nearby man, who casually replied, "Oh, someone jumped into the sea just now." Probably too hot, went for a swim. Her face went pale. He doesn't even know how to swim. Without hesitation, she leapt into the ocean. When she found Harry, he was unconscious. Frantically, she performed CPR. And the instant their lips met, Anna transformed back into her father. Harry's eyes flew open, only to find his father-in-law's furious face inches away. He stammered, trying to explain, but the man wouldn't hear a word. He just glared and then sneezed. And in that moment, Anna returned once more. She rushed to his side, worried sick. "Are you okay? Why did you jump into the sea?" Harry looked at her, realization dawning. At first he was stunned, then his eyes lit up with excitement. "I get it now. I finally understand what's going on." "What do you mean?" Anna asked, puzzled. After piecing together every transformation, Harry had uncovered the ultimate secret. He immediately set up an experiment. When the father-in-law appeared again, Harry grabbed a feather and tickled the man's nose, trying to make him sneeze. The old man scowled. "What idiotic thing are you doing now?" "I'm testing a theory. I think I've found the trigger. Every time you sneeze, Anna comes back." The father-in-law refused to cooperate. He pinched his nose shut and held his breath, determined not to sneeze. Harry nearly got down on his knees. "Please, just one sneeze, I'm begging you," the man glared. "Over my dead body. I swear I'll never ever sneeze in front of you again. Achoo!" And sure enough, Anna appeared right then and there. Harry grinned in triumph. His hypothesis was 100% correct. Thanks to that, Anna could finally enjoy her favorite snacks again. While they were chatting, Harry accidentally learned that his father-in-law suffered from chronic allergic rhinitis, extremely sensitive to scents, dust, and pollen, which explained his constant sneezing. A dark idea immediately flashed through Harry's mind. If he wanted to see Anna every day, all he had to do was make his father-in-law sneeze nonstop. As long as he didn't touch her directly, she wouldn't disappear. The two excitedly discussed their plan. But in the midst of their enthusiasm, Harry slipped and accidentally fell on top of Anna. The result was obvious. Her father appeared once again, and this time Harry was sprawled right on top of him. The room froze. The father-in-law's face turned purple with rage. "You get your face off me, right now!" Naturally, what followed was an unavoidable storm of fists and kicks. After the educational beating, the older man spoke sternly. "That sneeze earlier was just an accident. From now on, you understand?" With dark circles under his eyes from sleepless nights, Harry could only nod weakly. "Yes, I understand." But understanding was one thing. Stopping was another. Soon after, he began researching allergens, pollen, and perfumes, and came up with a bold plan. He smirked wickedly. "All right, let the sneeze battle begin." Day 1. He filled the house with fresh flowers, hoping the pollen would make his father-in-law sneeze non-stop. But the old man calmly stuffed his nostrils with plugs and went about his day as if nothing happened. Harry was stunned. He's gotten that smart already? Plan failed. Night 2. While his father-in-law slept, Harry scattered feathers all over the room to create a sneeze storm. Yet the whole night passed in silence. Frustrated, he crept closer and lifted the blanket, only for a bald head to pop out. Harry screamed, fell backward, and clutched his head in horror. The older man smirked coldly. "Idiot, did you really think I didn't know what you were up to?" Harry pouted like a child caught red-handed. "But weren't you asleep?" With solemn dignity, the man replied, "From this day forward, I shall never truly sleep again." Harry was speechless. Another failure. Days passed. No matter what he tried, he couldn't make the man sneeze. "He's too strong," Harry groaned in defeat. But he refused to give up. "There's still my ultimate move." On their way to the airport, he doused himself in perfume. So much that every inch of his clothes and hair reeked of fragrance. "Let's see how you dodge this time." Once aboard, the scent was so overpowering the flight attendants nearly fainted and had to cover their noses. But the father-in-law sat there calmly reading his newspaper, wearing a full gas mask. The attendant grew suspicious and demanded he remove it for inspection. He refused. Passengers began whispering, "Oh my God, what's that smell?" Harry grew even more determined, fanning the air toward his target. The old man leapt up like lightning to avoid him. Harry lost balance and hit his head on the seat in front. Without a word, the father-in-law turned and walked away. Harry called after him, "Dad, where are you going?" "I'll come with you. Don't follow me." Defeated, Harry sat down, sulking. But then a glass of fruit juice caught the old man's attention. His throat was dry and he hesitated. How could he drink with the mask on? He reassured himself. Just one sip won't hurt. He removed the mask and drank deeply. Only afterward did he realize it was pineapple juice, the one thing he was severely allergic to. At that moment, the flight attendant and an air marshal rushed over, pointing, "That's the one." But when they looked again, everyone gasped. The middle-aged man had vanished, replaced by a beautiful young woman with big bright eyes. It was Anna. She looked around in confusion, disbelief in her voice. "I'm on a plane? Is our honeymoon over already?" Her voice trembled, filled with sorrow. "Will you leave me now?" Harry panicked. "Why would I? Of course not." He grabbed her hand and said earnestly, "No matter who you become, no matter how you change, I'll always stay by your side." Then, with a grin, he stabbed his fork into a piece of meat on his plate. "See? Even when a pig turns into ham, it's still cute and delicious. We're the same. No matter what happens, we'll always be us." Anna's eyes filled with tears. She smiled through them, her love for him deepening even more. They returned home happily. That night, Harry thought he could finally sleep peacefully with his wife in his arms. But when he opened his eyes, the person beside him was once again his furious father-in-law. The honeymoon was over, but Harry's marital nightmare had only just begun.